I'm very happy I've come to Dr. B.R. Ambedakar College of Law. I tell you, today lawyers are very important, not only for the society, for themselves also. That is the reason why today even doctors, after serving as doctors for a few years, they go to law college to study law. Engineers, after working as professional engineers in their field, chosen field, they go to the law college and they become lawyers. Anybody and everybody who faces one-to-one with the justice system, criminal justice system, one or the other day he thinks, I should have become a lawyer. I tell you, have you seen Sanjay Dutt going to the court? Video clippings are in the YouTube. You please see. And I tell you, whenever he was going to the court, he was carrying many law books and files, more than his advocates. He himself used to carry. And he was not a very good student. But once he got into trouble, he became a very good student of law. And that is how he could get parole again and again. Pardon he could get. You understand? Same thing holds good for many of the freedom fighters of India. Mahatma Gandhi ji was a lawyer. Dr. B.R. Ambedakar was a lawyer. The founding member of Indian National Congress, Motilal Nehru, was a lawyer. And I tell you, I actually deal with lawyers on a day-to-day basis. A mutton shopkeeper one day, chasing a dog, goes to a lawyer's office. And he comes to know in the lawyer's office that dog belongs to the lawyer. And that dog just picked up a piece of meat from the shop of the meat shopkeeper. And this shopkeeper of the meat, butcher, he talks to the lawyer. He says, "Sir, if a dog steals meat from my shop and it happens to run away to its owner, can I get the compensation from the owner of the dog?" Then he says, that the lawyer says, "Absolutely." Then the butcher says, "Sir, then you have to give me 500 rupees. Very promptly the lawyer writes a check for 500 rupees. Common people keep the cash in their pockets. Lawyer is a big man. He doesn't have any cash in his pocket. He gives a check for 500 rupees. And happily the shopkeeper, the butcher, goes back. After a few days, butcher sees in his mailbox a letter from the lawyer. He opens it up and reads, "For consultation fee, give 20,000. I tell you, this is how the things run. What was the consultation? He just asked whether he can get compensation. Lawyer said, "Yes, you can get compensation." And that's the only advice he gave. Okay, thank you. Charles Dickens, he said, "If there were no bad people, there would be no good lawyers. If the whole world had only good people, then there is no need for the lawyers." Yes. If the lawyers are not required, then we don't require police. We don't require even governments. That's for sure. Now I keep remembering one good sentence. Good lawyers, our sir was telling, he was telling how to become a good lawyer. I tell you, he told elaborately how to become a good lawyer. To begin with, he mentioned about honesty, hard work, sincerity, and knowledge of the law. Yes, all these things make you a good lawyer. And who is the great lawyer? Great lawyer knows the judge. Huh? You understand? And I'll tell you, the good lawyers, they sit in their office, they read, they write, they speak, they practice, they type. What do the good lawyers do? Please repeat with me. They read, they write, they speak, they practice, and they type. And they are good lawyers. And I'll ask the question, what are the great lawyers are doing? They are in the Radisson Blu. They are partying. They are in the Taj West End, partying. They are in the farmhouses of the senior civil servants. What are they doing? Partying. Why? They are great lawyers. What are they doing? Even before the charge sheet is put, they know what is going to be put in the charge sheet. Even before the charge sheet goes to particular judge, they know who is the judge. They know who is the constable who is going to carry the file of the case. And they also know where all the witnesses living. The IPS officer who booked the case is in America, in Harvard University, studying. And the driver who took the IPS officer to the field, he retired, he is farming in a village. All these kind of petty things, so-called petty things, the great judge, the lawyer knows. I'll tell you one thing. I don't say what is good, what is great, what is bad, what is required, what is not required. I don't say, I don't make comments here. But I tell you what you want to have, please have. I'll tell you, ultimately, you all need a justice for your clients. You all need good income for your services. You all need a good name. That's fine. But I tell you, if you people have seen a singer from Himachal Pradesh, Tal movie. In that Tal movie, that hero, when Aishwarya Rai goes to the city and she's asking for a job in his office, he opens up a calendar. In the front of the calendar, there are advices given to that hero by the mother. What are those advices? You should be honest, you should be sincere, you should be punctual, all that will be there. In the background, when you flip that calendar, the advices given by the mama are there. You are very intellectual, very intelligent girl. I'll tell you, I'm very happy. See, I'll tell you one thing.
Outstanding students.
Yeah, that's very good. I tell you, what are the mama's advices? Mama's advices are party with the consent. Know the person and get the justice. See, I'll tell you, mummy's advices are always good. They make you good people. But I'll tell you, most of the lawyers, in the name of practicality, so-called practicality, they are learning other things also. I'm not telling, again, as I mentioned, this is good, bad, this is great. I'm not mentioning, but you choose and you continue. Continue, but I'll tell you, have good results for your clients. lot of the things are there to explain, like morality and all that. I will not explain in the form of moral science, but I'll tell you a small story, and I'll explain that. Once, a housewife, an auditor, and a great lawyer asked, well, same question was asked to all the three people. How much is 2 plus 2? Housewife immediately said, 4. The auditor said, I think it may be 3 or 4. As of now, I can't explain and I can't conclude. After going through the accounts and audit reports, I will tell. This is told by a chartered accountant or an auditor. And same question answered by the lawyer. He closed the curtains, he dimmed the light, he went near to the person who asked the question, how much you want it to be? Please tell how much you want it to be. See, I'll tell you, it runs. As a police officer, if I shout at the people who come to meet me, I may not sit in the same chair any longer. But I'll tell you one very nice profession. You shout, you express your anger, and you get paid for that. What is that profession? Lawyer, advocates. I will talk about what Gandhiji also said. See, Gandhiji, among several philosophers, he elaborately talked about the lawyers and the profession of lawyers, advocates. There are very few leaders, very few philosophers who spoke or wrote in length as much as Gandhiji did. I'll tell you some things, what Gandhi said. Gandhi, in his writings and public speeches, remained a bitter critic of Indian courts and lawyers. He believed that Indian justice system rewarded the wealthy and compounded the miseries of the poor, yet he would enjoin lawyers to place truth and service above the perks of the profession. He advised lawyers to write their petitions in a simple language. I'll tell you, I take great pride in reading, writing and speaking. And typing also. I request all those who are here present, take a great pride in reading, writing and speaking and typing. Without any grammatical mistake, spelling mistake. All good lawyers are very good in reading and writing. And you will see, very soon you will see, or you have already seen, those lawyers who are not earning good enough to take care of their family themselves are those lawyers who cannot read, who cannot write. Even Kannada or any mother tongue or English. I will just, a case was going on, my personal case was going on. I called a lawyer. I asked him to draft my papers. He took a good amount of 1 month time. He came back. It was in a hurry, but he took 1 month. He came back. I was sitting in my quarters. I read, me who takes pride in language skills. Just after reading that, I felt that draft was not good. You know what I did? I appreciated him. I said, sir, super drafting, sir. Great, sir. I took out 10,000 rupees. I'm telling you, this case, about 15 years back, I took 20,000 rupees. I gave him. Fantastic, sir. I will call you again, sir. We'll meet again. He went back. I went to another lawyer. He was a very good lawyer, well-known lawyer. I told him, he drafted, and he is a junior. He was also very fantastic in drafting, and his language skill was very good. And I'll tell you, I won the case in just 1 or 2 sittings. And he asked that other lawyer, he kept on asking me, sir, what happened, sir? You didn't tell me. Then I told him, I will tell you. The opposite party is withdrawing the case. So no problem, just when the need arises, I will call you. Sir, I will tell you, sir, after that, I just avoided. You understand? See, I will tell you, wise men who know the law, wise men who know the world are very difficult to handle. Most of the people fail to understand him. He failed to understand me. Why I am telling you? He thought by looking at my draft itself, he has paid me 10,000 rupees. If I had run the case, if I had argued in the court, how much he would have given me? That is his thinking. But my thinking is very simple. Let me pay him, get rid of him. I'll tell you one thing. Lot of things are there. Of course, in a short video, we should not tell all that. I'll tell what again Gandhi said. What a lawyer charges a client, largely unregulated in India, even now it is unregulated. However, Gandhi addressing the Bar Association, Peshawar, back in 1938 and asserted, I confess, I myself have charged what I would now call high fees. But even while I was engaged in my practice, let me tell you, I never let my profession stand in the way of my public service. He maintained that throughout his career at the bar, he never once departed from truth and honesty. The duty of a lawyer is always to place before the judges and to help them to arrive at the truth, never to prove the guilty as innocent. This was the philosophy of Gandhi. As far back as 1909, Gandhi had slammed lawyers in his book, Hind Swaraj, or Indian Home Rule, for encouraging litigations and prolonging them. He stressed on lawyers to promote reconciliation. I was working in Kosovo as a police observer, working for the United Nations mission in Kosovo. A case of corruption was charged against a minister. He was a PWD minister of that country. $800 million corruption charges or embezzlement. He was taken to the court by our international police officers. In the court, charges were framed and read out. You know what the minister did? Yeah, he said, yes sir, I did. I am guilty. And give punishment. In the European countries, they plead guilty. But in India, plead guilty maybe only in the traffic cases. See, I tell you, in Europe, petty criminals or poor people, you know what they do? They commit a petty crime in front of a patrolling police party and they get caught. When they are produced before the judges, they plead guilty and they stay in the prison during the winter because food, shelter, everything is taken care of during the winter. And once the winter is over, they request the prison officers to give them a parole or to pardon them and they come out. I'll tell you, when the guilty person or the person who has committed the crime doesn't plead guilty, then the role of the lawyer comes into picture. It's not happening in India. I think we have to move towards such India, such Indian judicial system where guilty in the court hall accept their guilt and they complete the criminal justice system process as early as possible. And another great lawyer, the lawmaker, the architect of Constitution of India, Dr. B.R. Ambedakar. Ambedkar's interaction with the law was at the multiple levels, as a practicing lawyer, as a professor of law, as a legislator, as a policy maker, as the framer of the Constitution, and as the social reformer. He practiced at district courts, courts of princely states, High Court and Supreme Court. He was professor of law at Government Law College, Bombay, and thereafter its principal. He was a member of the Legislative Assembly in the Bombay Presidency. He was Labour Minister in the Viceroy's Executive Council and the first Union Law Minister of Independent India. He was the chairman of the drafting committee of the Constituent Assembly. He led many social movements and struggled for emancipation of the Dalits and the working class. In his multiple writings, he conceptualized the purpose and role of law in human life and society. And such a great man's name is there for this college. And I'll tell you, in India, how many law colleges are there? Law Minister Kiran Rijiju, he said there are only 1,721 law colleges in India. Only. Actually, we need more law colleges. Actually, total government law colleges are only 338. National law colleges are only 24. Some national law colleges are only 24. And total private colleges in India, 920. And I'll tell you, this was told by Kiran Rijiju in 2022. And a lawyer has so many things, so many roles to play in the society. Most of the lawyers themselves don't know what are the roles of a lawyer. Like advancing social justice, protecting human rights, promoting the rule of law, providing pro bono services. Sir, providing pro bono services. Very few lawyers are doing. And almost every lawyer can do. And supporting access to justice, providing mediation and alternative dispute resolution, especially in the family court. You will come across this mediation. And providing business advice. Most of the good business houses, they hire good lawyers. Representing the underprivileged, advocating for environmental protection, supporting pro bono programs, lawyers play an essential role in society. They provide legal advice, represent clients in court, draft legal documents, ensure compliance with the law, uphold the rule of law, and participate in law reform. Lawyers also play a critical role in promoting social justice, protecting human rights, and supporting access to justice. Lawyers are an essential part of our society and their contributions are invaluable. As such, we must continue to support and value the work that lawyers do in our communities. I'll tell you ultimately who is the lawyer who wins the case in any court. Whoever tells the best story wins the case. And this is again told by a very good lawyer. He is John Quincy Adams. I was thinking about some very top class lawyers. Who are the best lawyers in the world. Before moving ahead, it is important to note that the popularity of a lawyer is ascertained by the outcome of a case and the review of their clients. It should go without saying that all lawyers have to meet a threshold of ability and performance before entering the profession. If clients keep saying, sir, you cannot draft a case, what will happen? That a lawyer will not get any clients further. There's one John Gregory Branca, famous American lawyer who represented Michael Jackson and others. He is considered one of the top lawyers. And you know what he says? His area of practice is entertainment law. You have heard about company laws, tax laws, family laws, Hindu law, Mohammedan law. I'll tell you, and you might have nowadays you might have even heard about cyber laws. But I'll tell you, highest paid lawyers are those who practice entertainment law. Like a contract between an actor and a film producer, a writer and a publisher, that kind of lawyers. Even medical profession, like when negligence of the medical doctor calls for a lawyer, when a doctor himself is a medical lawyer, it helps him. So that is why Sir was talking about like a good lawyer who knows about medical profession, he can handle such cases. Sir was mentioning. And now there are some lawyers, I will just mention their names, who are famous in India, like P.P. Rao, K.T.S. Tulsi, Aryavan Sundaram, Gopal Subramaniam, Mukul Rohtagi, K.K. Venugopal, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, K. Parasaram, Harish Salve, Fali Sam Nariman. I tell you, I was talking to students of college. I asked them one question. How much you want to earn per month after your graduation? Most of the girls in that hall, they mentioned some X amount. Now I'll ask the same question here. How much you want to earn per month? A top class student, please tell me. How much you want to earn per month? 1 crore. 1 crore per month. Very good. Thank you very much. Sir, how much you want to earn? Yeah. How much you want? Yeah. 50 lakhs. Okay, I will not ask further. I'll tell you the 10 names that I mentioned here, almost all of them they charge 5 lakhs to 15 lakhs per appearance. And if they appear even for 10 days, I'm not 10 days, 10 cases, and that will be a few seconds. You know, if anybody has seen the Supreme Court proceedings, how it happens.
Not only Supreme Court, even in High Court, only few seconds, that's fraction of seconds, one minute.
Yes, fraction of seconds. Common people, they don't know. Like as a police officer, I know. As lawyers, as judges, you know. For that few seconds, how much they earn? In lakhs, 5 to 10, 15 lakhs. And if you appear even 10 cases in one day, your quota for the month is done. MBA girls, you know how much they wanted to earn. Very, very sad, I'll tell you. We have to educate the people about the reality, practicality, practical life. How some of the colleges are failing to teach their students. I'm not talking about money is everything or money will solve your problems. No, not that. One girl said 5,000 rupees. The top ranking girl, she said 25,000 rupees per month. Then I told them practicality. How much is for the rent? How much for your newspaper and mail? How much for your mobile charges? How much for EMI of your vehicle? How much for your EMI of your house? Think all that. Then you earn. Your students are not as practical as the practicing lawyers, I think. Those who are living simple, those who are living very simple life, those who are living in ashram, they will also not understand it. She has achieved some status in life. She has reached a level of spending. Somehow she cannot adjust to the lower expenditure lifestyle. You please listen to her case, how much maintenance she wanted. She mentions how much she wants for her children's education, how much is the rent of a house, all that she mentions. And she asks for few crores. I'm not telling like what she asked is correct or not correct. I'm just telling when you know what is your lifestyle, then only you can speak about what you have to earn. But I also insist that you all should not think of or aspire to have that kind of life where your expenditure is very high. That is why I was very passingly mentioned about pro bono cases. Pro bono cases, mediation, consultation, helping the people who are in need of the legal advices, where you have to serve them free of cost. Free of cost. Of course, earn from those people who can give you and help the people who need you. And there's a lot to talk about the history of the legal system in India. It all started with the Britishers. And as the British rule became stronger and stronger in India, the courts started, legal frameworks, they started taking their shapes. Like so many laws came into existence. Otherwise, just Mohammedan law, knowing the Mohammedan law and Hindu law was sufficient. But later, those laws which were made by the Britishers became essential part of the judiciary, legal system. And those who could read and interpret them, they became the lawyers. That's the history. I think normally, good, bad, whatever, I don't like to speak more than 45 minutes. It's already reaching that time. So I will conclude. Before concluding, I will tell you one small poem written by me only. And it's in Kannada. For the benefit, again I can translate. ಬಸ್ಯಾನ ಅಪಘಾತಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಮನಂ ಹಾಡಿತ್ತ. This is Kannada and very colloquial Dharwad Kannada. ಬಸ್ಯಾನ ಅಪಘಾತಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಮನಂ ಹಾಡಿತ್ತ. ಬರೀ ಮೂಳೆ ಗೀಡೆ ಮುರಿತ, ಚರ್ಮ ಹರಿತ, ರಕ್ತ ಸುರಿತ, ಅಪ್ಪನ ಹೊಡೆತ, ಅಮ್ಮನ ಕೊರೆತ, ಮಾಸ್ತರ್ನ ಬಡಿತ, ಗಾಯಗಳ ಕಡಿತ, ಗೆಳೆಯರ ಕುಡಿತ, ಗೆಳತಿಯ ಮಿಡಿತ, ಬಸ್ಯಾನ ತುಡಿತ, ವೈದ್ಯರ ನಡೆತ, ಪೊಲೀಸರ ಕಡತ, ನ್ಯಾಯಾಧೀಶರ ಕರೆತ, ಮಾಧ್ಯಮಗಳ ಮೊರೆತ, ವಕೀಲರ ಸುಲಿತ, ವಿಮಾ ಕಂಪನಿ ಹಿಡಿತ, ಜೀವ ಉಳಿದಿತ್ತ, ರೊಕ್ಕ ಕಳೆದಿತ್ತ, ಬದುಕು ಹಾಳಾಗಿತ್ತ, ಅಪಘಾತಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಮನಂ ಹಾಡಿತ್ತ. I'll just translate. A boy by name, student, a boy by name Basya, he met an accident. His bones broken, skin torn, blood went out from his body, and his father bet him. Mother kept on telling him so many advices, and the school master, when he came to the school after remaining absent, he bet him, and his wounds, they were itching, and his friends, they were calling for a drink because he met an accident and they are sad, and his girlfriend, she kept on crying, what happened to you, like this. And Basya, he wanted to get off all this nonsense of this accident and the police case. And why the doctors, they gave medicines, police, they carried the file, and the judge, he called for the case. And the media, it focused on him, and the lawyers took their fee. And the insurance company, it held its hold on him for such a long time. He could not get the insurance money promptly. And somehow his life was saved. His money lost. Life gone. And for that reason, this poem. Okay, anyway, I want to conclude. I want to conclude by saying the Constitution of India, after we adopted it, it became our religious book. Like before that, Manu Smriti, Yajnavalkya Smriti, Narada Smriti, they were dictating the laws of India. After India became independent and Constitution was adopted, all the laws written under the Constitution of India, they became our holy scriptures. If we follow them, we are not criminals. If we don't follow them and if we break them, we are criminals. That is why I keep saying, Constitution of India is our holy book. Please join me in saying these 3 sentences loudly. We all are Indians.
We all are Indians.
Our religion is Indian.
Our religion is Indian.
Our holy book is Constitution of India.
Our holy book is Constitution of India.
Thank you very much, Kartika. Thank you very much, Shiva, and all of you, and sir, for inviting me here, for educating me here, and for giving me an opportunity to learn from you. Thank you, God bless you.